15 and a half now after the hour of 8 o'clock on this Tuesday morning showgram. We'll check out our stocks from Wall Street in about 15 minutes with our Wall Street Journal update on AM 1230 and AM 1490. Well, this morning it's our pleasure to have on the other end of our line Republican Congressman Ron DeSantis. Good morning, Congressman. How you doing?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I am doing fine. That's too formal. Good morning, Ron. How's everything in Washington?
There you go. There you go. Well, I'm happy to report I am back in Florida.
Oh.
We're up there just for a couple days, the swearing in, and then this is a week in the district. So we are. I've been doing some media to get just kind of let people know what I've been up to, and we're going to be working on our district offices, make sure everything's up and running good. We do have our Port Orange office up and running, and just trying to make sure that we're delivering the services that people need, and so it's exciting.
Okay, how's it like to be a freshman congressman?
Well, I'll tell you, my wife and I got up to Washington on January 1st. We were sworn in on the 3rd, but it was interesting because when we got there on the 1st, I didn't know what the world was going to look like on January 3rd because these guys are still all the way up to the last minute doing this stuff with the fiscal cliff and other affiliated issues. And so it just struck me as I went on there when I showed up on the 3rd. A lot of these returning members were tired and fatigued, and they had been there a long time. And I said, you know what, this is probably not the way we want to do business in the future. Probably want to do these things in regular order and not create these fictitious deadlines and manufacture crises for ourselves. So in that sense, I ran on being a change agent, and I think that we do need to be pushing in the direction of changing the way Congress operates. When on the swearing-in day, there's a lot of pomp and circumstance and all that, and that's not really what I'm about. So we did it. We entertained people who were there, came to support us, and had a good time doing it. But there's a lot of work to do, and we need to change the way this government does business, or we're just not going to be able to ever fix these problems.
Well, Ron, all the talk has been about the fiscal cliff, and you're right. At the last minute, there was a vote for that, and now our taxes are up, and we understand that. But the one thing that I don't hear him talking about that much out of Washington, and I think that you'll keep your eye on this, is talking about our budget. And as I recall, when you were running for the Congress, one of your commercials said, hey, if we can't get a budget, we shouldn't get paid until we have a budget, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm joining there's a caucus in the House called the Fix Congress Now caucus, and they advocate policies like that. Because if you don't do budgets, you end up with fiscal cliffs and other things. And you're required to do a budget by law. And so I just think we need to do budgets. And the House has done budgets. It's the Senate that hasn't done it for 1,300 plus days.
Right.
My view is you do your job, you pass the budget, you get the bills through that need to go through to fund the government. And if you don't do that, then what are we paying you guys for? Now, I'm one of those guys up there, and look, if I don't do my job, then I should not get paid by the taxpayers, and so we need to start advocating those types of reforms. The good things about those reforms is, those are some things that I could work with Democrats on. It's not purely ideological like some of the taxing and spending is, and if we go in that direction and put pressure on some of the old bulls to do their job, I think we'll be better for it.
If you just joined us he's actually back in Florida, Ron DeSantis, our congressman, representing District 6 with his most of our listening area in Volusia County, Jacksonville suburbs, all the way down to New Smyrna Beach. Congressman, I know you talk about the fiscal cliff and you talk about the budget, but as a freshman congressman, there's got to be a lot on your mind that we have to work on when you get back to Washington.
Yes, absolutely. We need to reform Congress, and that's going to be tough, but I'm just going to always be there pushing in the direction that we discussed. I think that, we do obviously have spending issues, taxing issues, and you have the implementation of Obamacare, which is going to cause huge dislocations, I think, for individuals and businesses. I think that you're going to see people get pushed off their employer plans, put into government exchanges. I think you're going to see businesses have to bear big new costs. And I think it's going to be make the economy rough sledding going forward. And so that's going to be something that, I can predict to you there's going to be problems. So we need to try to get out ahead as much as we can and really make sure that the bureaucracy isn't running amok and exercise our oversight in Congress in that respect. And we have, and I'm on the Foreign Affairs Committee, we still, as much as our domestic problems are out there, foreign threats are not going away. Iran will probably have a nuclear weapon pretty soon unless something's done, and I I don't think the president will do anything, but I think Israel might. And I would certainly support whatever Israel thinks it needs to do to maintain itself against a very hostile threat. So I think terrorism is still an issue, and then I think you see the rise of Russia again and China. So there's just a lot going on for our country. I think if we could get our fiscal house in order, start generating economic growth, we'd be in a better position to deal with all of these issues.
Okay, Congressman, I know you have a busy day today. One quick question on the news last night and the news throughout this morning on our NBC News, talking about former Senator Chuck Hagel, Defense Secretary. That's who the president wants. What's your thoughts on that?
I think he's a good soldier, a laudable service to the country. I applaud him for that. I don't think that his views on the Iranian threat, groups like Hezbollah, the state of Israel, and our need to have a strong relationship with them are what I would want in a Secretary of Defense. And so I'm really concerned about those views. You always need to be able to challenge certain thinking, but there's just certain things that I think he said with respect to our relationship with Israel that troubles me. And so I'm not somebody who would come out of the gate and support Chuck Hagel for those reasons.
Congressman Ron DeSantis, we're really glad that you're in Washington representing us. Get those district offices open. Keep us informed of what's going on in the nation's capital, and keep up the good work.
Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, Congressman Ron DeSantis on AM 1230 and AM 1490.